Midweek Analysis.
Hey guys, this is a midweek analysis for March 31st of 2021. Okay, we'll start off with the Audnzd pair. This is a monthly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. Okay, so we had a normal double bottom right here against a weak downward trend line from this pivot to this pivot.
Low power.
So in the long term, we were long biased right up to this trend line level, then perhaps this pivot high. However, we're waiting to see if price could get through this first target level of this downward trend line to perhaps get to the second target. Thus, in the short term, we are neutral biased. Okay, let's talk midweek price. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart. If you recall, last week we were talking about we wanted price to grunge through that monthly trendline level with compact price action. And up until the latter part of last week that was happening. However, this first attempt failed and came right back down. Now at this point, we still want to see if price could give another attempt up, but still with the same type of grunging compact price action to get through that monthly trendline level right up to our second target. Now there's one more thing I do want to add, so let me take you to the daily chart. So on the daily chart, try drawing this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here. Now if the 4-hour fails to grunge through that monthly trend line level, the second line of defense will be this daily trend line level. So if we could see that grunging price action on this daily chart, then we could still possibly see price break through that first target trend line level right up to our second target. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on the 4-hour and the daily charts price action for this pair. Okay, let's go on to the Euro Yen. Oh, and please subscribe if you like these videos, and please push the like button. It will really help me out, guys. Thank you. Okay, this is the Euro Yen weekly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. Alright, the last long trade that formed on the Euro Yen was right here. And the last short trade that formed was right here. Now this short trade was slightly stronger than this long trade. However, due to this short trade possibly already hitting its target, in the medium term, we are long biased right up to this pivot high as a target. However, in the short term, due to price being stuck in this gap range, we are neutral biased. Okay, let's talk midweek price. Okay, we'll stay on this weekly chart. Let me walk you through the setup that we were looking at for the past couple of months. Okay, so we had a strong long trade here. Then we had a weak short trade. And so we were looking for long entries right back up to this pivot high as a target. And then that same setup repeated. So there was another short trade. So as price came back down, we were looking for long entries right up to this pivot high as a target. Now, roughly a month ago, a new long trade was formed right here. So now we'll be basing all our setups based on the strength of this long trade. So this last long trade right here was relatively weaker than this short trade. So typically we'll be looking for short entries right back down to this pivot low as a target. However, in this case, there is a possibility that price already hit its target right here. Now that target being gap levels on the monthly chart. So let me take you over to the monthly chart. Okay, so those monthly gap levels that are becoming targets are right here, another one right here, and another one right here. So this entire range from this level right here, right up to this level right here, can possibly be a target level for that weekly short trade. So let me take you back to the weekly chart. Okay, so let me run it by you again. This long trade was relatively weaker than this short trade. Thus, typically, we'll be looking for short trades right back down to this pivot low as a target. However, in this case, the short trade's target might have been hit on that monthly gap level. Thus, we're looking for targets on the reverse direction, which is long, right up to this pivot high as a target. So, we're just going to wait and see if we could get another pull back down as much as possible so we could take it right back up to this pivot high as a target. Now, if you're having trouble understanding what we're talking about in terms of weak long trades and strong short trades, please watch my price action course, lessons 1 through 4, and that should give you a general idea. Okay, so let's go on to the Usdjpy pair. Okay, this is a monthly chart. We'll start off with a brief overview. Alright, so ultimately we were short biased right down to this 101 pivot low. But before that, we're talking about the pullback to 107, then to 109, then down to this 101 level. So in the long term, we are still short biased right back down to this pivot low as a target. However, in the short term, due to a lot of momentum long still in this currency pair, we are neutral biased in the short term. Okay, so let's talk midweek price. Okay, we'll stay on this monthly chart. Now, if you recall, we're looking at this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here, and how we wanted price to respect this with compact price action. However, last week on the 4-hour chart, we were not getting strong short price action. So let me take you over there. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart. If you recall, we were talking about this price action not being strong enough short, right? Because we wanted it to be more compact between these peaks, preferably half of this. So due to this weak short price action, eventually last week, price resumed its long momentum. Now at this point, there's a couple things we want to be looking at. So let me take you back to the monthly chart. Okay, so this trend line from this pivot to this pivot, at this point, it seems like it's going to be broken out. So this trend line at this point will be irrelevant. Now, at some levels that we could possibly get some resistance will be this trend line from this pivot to this pivot right here. It's slightly diagonal. And the other general area will be these highs right here. If you could see, price has been respecting these levels for the past couple of months and should act as resistance again. So a general area that we'll be looking for now is in this range, this area right here. Now at this point, one thing to keep in mind is that if price gets through this range level and closes above here on the weekly or the monthly chart, then perhaps we may have to change that long-term bias of targeting this pivot low for price could possibly start reaching this trend line level right up here. Now let me just show you how that trend line is drawn. Okay, so we'll zoom out. Okay, so the upper trend line level will be from this pivot right here to this pivot. And now again, if price could close above this range level right here on the weekly or the monthly chart, then possibly we might see another move up right up to this trend line level. So let's just see if price gets rejected in this general range right here. Then still we could possibly see that move down to 101. Okay, that's it for the midweek analysis. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week, guys. And thanks for watching. Bye.